Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a bearing change on Ifor Williams trailer. This is a CT177, but for the about last 20 years or so they've all been the same no matter what you've got, whether it's a horse box, whatever. This is the seal bearing type, and so I'll show you first how you know whether your bearings need changing, and then go through the process of changing it. You will probably need a hydraulic press for that, just to let you know before you start, and I would say you want probably a minimum of 10 ton if it's good condition, maybe 20 ton if they've been in there quite a while and a bit rusty. Okay, so it's this back wheel we're going to be looking at first, and if you give it a push side to side, you can maybe not see or hear, but there's a bit of play there, and then you can go turn it, listen for any rumbling. There's a little bit, but it's not too bad. Again, the play on it's not too bad, and you go up and down. There you definitely hear it a lot more. So we've got this nut on first. We need to punch this out, and then you can either impact this off. It's a 46mm spanner or socket, or if not, we'll drop it back down on the floor and we can use a big breaker bar. So yeah, usually there should be a dust cap on this as well. Mine's missing. That's one side. And okay, so you see it takes a bit of force to break that off, but now it's loose. I know the shadows are affecting the video quality a bit. Oh, you can get this wheel off. So that's going to go for a new tyre as well, so I'll get that out of the way. And then behind here on one side, we've got the cable going in there, so there's going to be a brake shoe adjuster on the back here. That's going to be a 19 socket as well. What we're going to do is just loosen this off. I just have to get an extension for this. So I've got the extension. It's got a bit of surface rust on it, so and I'm not going to turn this all the way out. We're just going to go around a good few turns. And then I'll tap this with a copper mallet just to push the adjuster forward. Yeah, socket's still stuck on it. So that should have released the so much pressure on the drum. Then finish to take this nut off. Get it by hand now. You can see the condition of that there is quite good. You can reuse that. It's not overly damaged. I have got new ones, but just in case you're on a bit of a tighter budget, as long as you're gentle knocking them back out, they can be reused. And then that's going to pull off like that because we've already adjusted the brake. You can see this is what we've adjusted. When you tighten it up, it's going to pull that back in and open this up slightly. So I'll take this in the workshop now and get the bearings out. Okay, so I've given it a quick little clean in here, get all the old bit of grease and dirt out, especially because that dust cap was missing. And then it's going to be a big circlip plier. Give it a squeeze, and sometimes, or most of the times, they're a little bit stuck, so it's good to have a spare screwdriver as well. Just to help work it around. Nearly came then. So that's ended up somewhere in the workshop. But yeah, ready to put in the hydraulic press now. We'll press this out. Okay, so here I am with it set up in the hydraulic press. I've got the 46mm socket there that fits pretty good on the back side. And then I've just spaced it out because the hydraulic press is a little bit broken. But we'll just pump this up now and see the bearing come out. Okay, so that's the old bearing out. You can see it takes a bit of force to break at the start. I don't think you would get it with a hammer and a drift, so that's why I said at the start you're probably going to need a hydraulic press. But next job now is to clean this really well with a brake cleaner. It needs to be spotless inside really. And then at the same time we can clean up, if you're not going to change your shoes for your brakes, you can clean up everything in there ready to fit it. In my case I'll be changing the shoes as well, so I'm going to have to replace them, but I'll get this hub unit finished first. Okay, so I've cleaned up inside here, I've flipped it over. We've checked for any scoring on the inside, because it could be that the last time it was put in, it was started off on the piss and it's damaged it. And I get the new bearing. No grease or anything, this is going to go in dry. And so there's a bit of a bigger diameter at the start to help it off. And then I've got this old pulley wheel I've taken off something. Always handy to keep, but it's just a slightly smaller diameter than the outer race of the bearing. So I get that on, and then I'll just block up. And then just to finish off this hub, you could reuse the same circlip again if you wanted to. I just got new ones just in case. Clean the old grease off that. There we go. Okay, so as previously mentioned, I'm going to have to change these brake shoes. I've not got them with me at the moment. But when you're ready to fit, this would all be clean. You'd push the drum back over, put this centre nut back on, and there's a torque 350 Newton meters on it. And then you're just going to punch in the tabs again into these recesses to lock it. And then you would just turn it, make sure it's turning freely, adjust your brake if you need to, and get the wheel back on. But hopefully this has helped you out, how to change the bearings on an Ifor Williams trailer. And if it did, make sure you give me a like and subscribe. Thank you.